Hey, welcome to the Horror Slash. It's episode 2 with Megan. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. This has been a great day.
Yeah.
This is one of those
Yeah,
special.
super great over here in Florida. We're experiencing a massive fucking thunderstorm because a hurricane's on its way, because that's just Florida for you.
How often do you get hit with the hurricanes? Pretty bad. Like,
I'm actually super lucky with where I live. I live within like the Tampa Bay area, and that little area has not been hit since like the late 1800s or some crazy shit like that. And there's like a whole thing to it where like they put a bunch of crosses in the bay to protect it, and ever since then we've been safe. So we'll watch us on like the weekend. I just get fucking wiped off the face of the earth, so we'll see.
Well, you better not, because we just started this show. I don't I don't think that's gonna happen, but I do not like the fact that you just mentioned that it hasn't happened in like 100 years. But we're not. I'm not superstitious, so let's not go there.
Yeah, I mean, I can do the show Beyond the Grave, and I feel like it'll really add to our spooky factor.
You know what? As long as I get that commitment from you, I'll take it. I think our ratings will go up, viewership will go up, and get some sponsorship deals. What commitment? I love it. Love it, Megan.
As a ghost.
Yeah, why not? Who cares? It's awesome. Just wondering if after our first episode you've been getting stopped on the streets and like, people have been asking for your autograph and all that. Does that happen yet?
Oh yeah, super famous. I mean, have I been stopped by somebody on the street because of my TikTok? No, not yet. But this podcast, people recognize my voice,
Was that a little backhand comment? Felt like it. So what do you got? You got something for me, or are we just gonna get on with the show?
Hey, I'm part of it, so it's on my cell phone. Okay, I got something for you. So, Jason, the feel about men drinking fruity drinks.
How do I feel about it?
Yeah, and if you do drink fruity drinks, because this is a safe space, what is your go-to fruity drink?
All right. So I think I feel like I can answer this with the utmost honesty, with keeping my my straight image intact. I like fruity drinks. I do.
Okay.
But the reason why I can admit this is because my main drink is whiskey.
Oh, okay. So you're drinking fruity drinks so you're drinking like, I don't know, what's a fruity drink with whiskey? I guess like
no. Whiskey straight up.
Oh, you feel like your whiskey is your redemption. I see.
Isn't it? Is it? No?
Okay.
Could it be?
Okay. No, I mean my boyfriend drinks fruity drinks and I fuck him hard, so
okay, well
doesn't matter to me.
So I'm in good company then. All right. Yeah. No, why not? Like, I mean, if it tastes good, drink it. If it tastes good, eat it.
It's even gotten to a point though where like if I see a man drinking a fruity drink, I think he's manlier than the guy that just orders straight whiskey or scotch.
You got it. Well, okay, so you got it. Yeah, you got to own it, right? So I think if you're in a bar,
confidence behind fruit.
Yeah.
Now
the question is, would your man drink a fruity drink if he was single at a bar with his friends?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely, you would.
You would? All right. So
I love that little bean so much. He's such a dingus. He's the best.
That's awesome. Okay, so he's a keeper. No, I like fruity drinks, especially in the summer. Like, I mean, like
there's who wants to drink whiskey to quench your thirst?
Well, that's
like not me.
Exactly. So like, I mean, and I don't love beer. You know what I mean? I'll have beer.
Oh, I love beer.
I'll have beer.
I love beer.
You love beer.
I'm drinking a fruity beer actually, and it doesn't taste all that fruity. Like, look at the label. Don't you think that would taste like a fruit roll-up?
Yeah.
Not even close. Not even close.
So it's not good.
So we're not sponsoring this beer, so actually censor that shit out.
I was gonna say you gave it the nicest close-up. Well, you're luckily your picture is like crap this week. So
yeah, I think
they don't get the free advertisement. It just says
nobody has to see this face.
No.
I'm tired.
But I want to know, does he have a favorite drink? A favorite fruity drink?
A favorite fruity drink. Well, a lot of the time we go out and we'll order each other's drinks because we're that obnoxious couple.
I see.
But I get him a lot of like citrusy fruity drinks is the main thing. Okay. He can't drink anything with blue in it though, because he will not remember that night.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. See, blue means blackout.
Blue. Okay. Got it. So no blue Caraco or
but the best part of all of it is like I don't drink fruity drinks. I drink tequila soda with a lime and that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, for the most part. I drink like a divorced 45-year-old man.
Tequila's the one I have to stay away from. And I'll tell you what. So when me and my friends started drinking, like, you know, you're in high school and all of a sudden, you know, alcohol's is made public to you and you can go for it. For some reason, and we don't know, none of us know, but for some reason, we just assumed tequila was the only drink on the face of the earth. So every freaking weekend, we drank tequila.
How guess unfortunate.
15, 16, I drank it once since.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just I just OD'd on it. We all did. It's like, and I don't know what we were thinking.
Tequila was your first ever drink then?
Yeah, it was. Minus beer, a little beer here and there, but tequila started with tequila. And now I'm on the fruity drinks, so I'm regressing.
What a transition!
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna be talking with on today's show a really, really cool guest, actually, Chris Stanley. He's a cosplayer, and my cosplay knowledge ain't, you know, where it is with horror and other topics, but I've checked this guy out and he's awesome. Have you checked out his page?
Yeah, he's handsome as fuck. Bring him on.
Well, I was looking at the costumes, but yeah, he's not.
I mean, you have to look at both. Like, I feel like, I don't know, you don't see like Steve Buscemi doing cosplay.
No, you don't. That's true. No, this guy's legit, and it's a talent, I guess. Like, you know, I again, we're gonna ask him some questions and figure out what this whole cosplay thing is all about. I'm really excited about that. And we're gonna have a poet on with us. Her name is Emma Williamson. A poet. See how diverse this show is.
I know, we're really touching all the topics, huh?
Well, you know what? It's funny because we should take pride in how diverse this show is, because we actually had a porn star lined up and she pulled the shoot and we ended up with the poet. So that's
wow. I mean, porn star for a poet. Who would have thunk it?
Exactly. And I am co-hosting today with a robot, as many of you can tell. Based on
my God, stop making fun of my image.
No,
can you hear me all right?
Not your image, it's your voice. Sometimes it gets metallic-y and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay.
We'll make the best of it.
Sound like Transformers.
Yes, basically, you do sound like you're transforming. All right, so it's time to bring on our first guest. Chris?
Yes, hello?
Hey!
Oh,
Very
man.
nice.
Technology.
I know. You know what? We've been battling it all night. So Megan, who you're going to hear sound like a robot from time to time.
Alone.
When she's not swearing.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me, guys. Nice to finally meet you. Jace, I feel for what you guys do, it's a very appropriate first name.
Yeah, I know, right? Actually, you know what? Funny enough, my middle name is Michael. So I have.
Oh, that's.
What's your last name, Freddie?
No, I know. Kruger. No, yeah, isn't that weird? Totally coincidental, but so anyways, so thanks for joining us from Melbourne, right?
I'm in Sydney. Yeah, I'm in Sydney. Yeah.
Wow.
Still the same time. So we're actually in a deep lockdown at the moment. So
really?
keeping myself occupied with a few projects. So I got here to show you guys some horror goodies. So
awesome. Awesome. So that means that's why you have the time for us, right? Because you're in lockdown.
Yeah,
you got
all the time in the world.
got nothing else to do.
All the time in COVID.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate that you're in a lockdown. I mean, they keep saying that we're going to be getting another one down the road, and let's hope that that's not true. But
I'm in
so
Florida. It's the Wild West over here, so
you
who
guys,
knows?
they have no
Day,
rules
day,
apparently.
day at a time, guys. It's just all you can do. Day at a time.
Yeah, that's it, man. Anyways, so again, thank you for being on the show. You are a very, very talented cosplay artist person. What would it be?
Uh,
Cosplayer?
yeah, cosplayer, aficionado of expensive arts and crafts.
Yes.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
All right. Okay, cool. So I want to talk about cosplay. So one of the things that we do on this show is we're going to be talking about all kinds of things: gaming, cosplay, sex, horror.
Jesus, Jason, you always have to throw in sex, you perv.
and then I stumble after that. I always
Yeah, and then afterwards you're like, okay, lost my train of thought.
That's it. Yeah.
Got a bit flustered, huh?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
every time. He does this every time.
So but the cool thing about this show is I'm interested to talk to all these people that are so good at these different things. But we probably have an audience that understands cosplay and probably don't understand it. What is cosplay? How would you define it?
So it's based from anime. That's where it all came from. Costume role play. It came. I wouldn't say it came out of Japan, but it was mostly influenced by anime back in the day. And then I guess you could say it was just dressing up that had a proper name eventually. Like, we all used to do it and go to conventions and dress up, and then cosplay became this thing. It was the proper thing to call it. And to me, it's like, it's next level costuming, because, you're making this one costume that has to withstand a barrage of conventions and stuff like that. Whereas, if you're replicating a costume from a film, there's like 20 costumes for the one actor of the same costume. Whereas you're making the one thing that's essentially not going to be bulletproof, but it's got to withstand a lot. So I just think it's next level costuming. That's the way I definitely see it. And again, expensive arts and crafts, man. It can be so expensive, but it's fun. It's fun.
Definitely want to ask about that, but we'll work up to that. So what's the cosplay community like? Is it competitive? Is it supportive? Is it like just individual? Like what is there a community?
There is a massive community, especially here in Australia. And, we each have our different ports. We've got the Brisbane crew, Sydney crew, Melbourne crew, or as you guys say, Melbourne. We've got the Perth crew, Adelaide. So we all have different conventions in different states. And yeah, it can be competitive, but in the best way possible, because I hate being competitive, but I love being inspired. So I'll go to a con in a cosplay and I'll see someone's cosplay and I'll be like, that's really clever. I'm going to use that on X, Y, and Z at some point in the future. So it's competitive, it's inspiring, and it's very supportive. I'm fortunate enough to have met a lot of people along the way, and I have my core cosplay crew who aren't just like cosplay, but they're also personal friends. We go through personal things together, and they're family. So it ticks all the boxes. But if it is competitive, it's got to be competitive for the right reason and not the wrong.
Healthy.
It's healthy, to push you to move forward with your builds and learning new stuff. So yeah.
Megan?
Aw, sweet. So my question is like, what got you into it? Were you just like super into Halloween, or like you have multiple...
See, she's a robot right now, right? She turned into a robot. Yeah. See, you're cosplaying on him. You're a robot.
What sort of left you? Yeah, joke's on you guys. I'm from fucking Transformers. Shia LaBeouf, where you at?
So you're cosplaying as Optimus Prime right now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what inspired me? I was always fascinated by how costumes were built when I was younger, especially like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man costume, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man costume. That thing was like a breakthrough in costuming technology. And also, nipples aside, the George Clooney and Val Kilmer bat suits. Even though I was young, I was like, those things are sick. Evidently, I ended up buying a screen-used Robin suit from Batman and Robin last year because I just wanted it. That was a great thing to have.
How much?
11,000 AUD.
Okay.
So
what the fuck do you do for a job?
This, like, it took me so long to save up for the money for that. I had to like nearly sell my body to pay for it.
Good. We endorse that on this show, so
that's why it's like you talk about sex.
Yeah.
Get an OS. You'll be fine. You'll pay for everything.
So, and I started building Freddy Krueger gloves when I was 13 years old. So my first Freddy glove I built out of a Diet Coke can and a baked beans can. I was just fascinated by it, by like a prop making point of view. Even though I was young, I was like, oh, that's beautiful engineering. So I got my main start. My main bread and butter was building Freddy gloves. And by the time I was in grade 10, you could leave school early at the end of the year because we had our assessment then. If you had a job, you could leave early. And I was making between $500 and $1,000 a week selling Freddy gloves. And I was still in school doing it on eBay. So that's kind of where I got the momentum to kind of make it a bit of a trade, if you know, like a business. And build as well. So learn a lot in terms of the metalwork, track down the original leather gloves that they use, the materials. Cut to 2012, Robert Englund was wearing one of my gloves for photo ops and had a good one-on-one with him. So that was just chef's kiss. He's just a delightful man.
That's awesome.
And
that's awesome.
But towards the end of high school, when I was in grade 12, I started getting into sculpture and like molding and casting and just self-taught. And back then, like YouTube wasn't really a thing, so I didn't have much tutorials to go off. So it was all the old school horror forums where it's just all pictures.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to go off picture by picture by picture. But yeah, got into sculpture, clay sculpture, the old school plaster molds and slipped latex castings, like a Michael Myers mask, stuff like that.
Wow.
And fast forward to like the last couple of years, it's getting into 3D printing, 3D scanning, and just the technology to do so, like with, scanning an actor and milling them out of foam and designing the armor and 3D printing it. And so I incorporate a lot of mediums into it, 3D printing, traditional sculpture, molding, casting, metalwork, woodwork, all that. So
is this something that like a lot of cosplayers do, or are you like just above and beyond?
Oh, no, God, no. I'm not above and beyond. There are people that are light years ahead of me in what they're doing. And, that's what I love about Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's just most of the time just pictures, but it's inspiring and you see people's progress. So, there are people that just stick to sewing their costumes, like just fabric costumes, no hard edge armor, stuff like that. And then you got your people that mix it all together, seamstresses, molding, casting, 3D printing, clay sculpture. So cosplay just hits, each end of the spectrum. That's what I love about it.
So how long will you, let's just say, for example, Captain Jack, it's brilliant. I've seen it on your Instagram page and it's a brilliant. How long will you run with that costume? Like, do you kind of vary it up throughout the year, or do you kind of take a costume like that and run with it for like a couple of years? What's the life of your creations?
Oh, that's a good one. So Captain Jack hasn't had a proper outing yet. I unveiled him at Supernova, which is a comic book convention here in Sydney, June, I think it was. Yeah, June. And evidently I was supposed to have a photo shoot a month later. So after the con, I had a shave, just let the face breathe and going to grow the goatee back. And then we went back into lockdown. So obviously my photographer and I couldn't initially I'm 5 minutes from the beach and there's perfect rocks and water there that looks very Pirates of the Caribbean. We were going to shoot down there. You can't do that because it's not a necessity and you'd get a fine, definitely, because the cops are doing the patrolling, which is fine. That's their job. They got to do that. They got to police this stuff. So at the moment, Jack is back in the box, I guess you could say, for now. So I'm desperate to do that again because Jack Jack and Captain Boomerang are the funnest cosplays to do. Like Captain Boomerang, I just have to show up, no acting required. I'm Aussie and I love and I love a beer, so
Yeah.
that's easy. And with Jack, like you watch Johnny do his shtick, and it's just like no matter what age, what sex you are, what color your skin is, you're like that looks fun. I want to do that, and
Yeah.
it's great. So. There was even at the convention a little kid dressed as a little Jack Sparrow, and even he had the hand movements.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so fucking cute.
He was so good. I was blown away. I'm like, sir, like you're a little method actor. That's great.
Oh my gosh.
Do you do that with all your creations? You adopt the character and the persona along with, you're not just walking around as Jack Sparrow, you are Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, like I definitely think like there's a fine line between doing the character justice and being cringy, if that sounds weird. Like, you get a lot of Deadpool cosplays that are up in your face and you're like, oh man, stop. But with Jack, like physically I try to do that. And like with Whiplash, I try to lean up as much as I can. And then cover myself in tattoos. I don't have a single skerrick of ink on me, but I had to research the tattoos that Mickey Rourke had in Iron Man 2, try and replicate as many of them as possible. So, and what else? Like physically, I'll try and transform my body for a certain cosplay, or like I've always wanted to do Edward Scissorhands, but like I'd have to really like lean down for that one. So yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. That soundtrack, everything. It was actually filmed. Yes. I grew up in Land O'Lakes, and right next to Land O'Lakes in Florida is Lutz, where that was filmed. And actually, you can still see one of the houses is still painted, and one of the driveways is still painted.
That's so cool. Suburbia.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely varies. It varies. Like sometimes I'll do a cosplay, it's done, and then as bad as that sounds, like I'll find a new home for it, and the funds from that will fund the next cosplay, because these things take up a lot of space.
I was going to ask you about that. Okay, so two-part question in a sense. One, how much would, let's just you say, Captain America, Captain Jack, how much would a costume on the average run you? And then I want to know, you were saying about making money back. Like what's the business side of it? Like, how does that work?
So the business side of it always, I wouldn't say it comes last, but it's not a priority. Like as long as I can, if I break even, fine, that's fine. But say Captain Jack, there's a lot going on with that costume. And to me, the centerpiece, and I've said it in the video with the reveal of it, is the wig. So I invested in the wig. The wig was $800 alone. Like a lot of, like it's all handmade, all the beads, all the trinkets are all done by hand. So a good Captain Jack cosplay will probably run you about 3,000. Captain America with everything really legit, maybe between 2,000 and 3,000. So, wow. And I have been fortunate enough to make a profit on cosplays that I have sold, but I always make sure that they're going to a good home. Like I'm very protective of them.
And is how do you make profit? Like, okay, besides selling the outfits, but like, how do you make money in cosplay, or is that just, it doesn't necessarily happen?
It can. So I have a few sources of income. So I've obviously got my YouTube channel, source of income there. I do commissions. So at the moment, I'll show you this. I'm working on a Halloween 5 display for a client.
Donald Shanks right there. Wow. Okay, why Halloween 5? Why Halloween 5? I'm curious.
So the client, who's also a friend of mine, he's based in Canada. He sculpted this in clay years ago and had it 3D scanned, and this is the 3D print. He loves Halloween 5. He's sending me the coveralls. He managed to track down the same make and model coveralls that Shanks wore in the film. So we're doing a display. It's going to be a museum busts, shoulders down to the lower torso of Michael. So I'm going to be doing painting this, hairing it, and then fiberglassing a torso. This is also what I'm working on at the moment. Mini Part 2 Freddy displays.
That's my favorite Freddy
Wow.
face, by the way. That's my favorite Freddy face.
Kevin Yeager's Part 2 makeup is hands down the best.
The
Hands down
witch
the
nose,
best.
like, yeah, that's my favorite. Megan is a makeup artist and has worked actually on the latest Halloween.
No way, you
I
will.
wouldn't say makeup
Skills.
artist. I would say like special effects person because I do a lot of the hair. So I did like some of the firemen that are in the new one. I did some appliances. I helped do one of like the Michaels 1970s ish mask that they base all the new. I made like I did the hair on the initial one so that they could base it off of that one because I can't reveal too much, but you see like a glimpse of the older Michael in it.
Oh my god, I'm fanboying right now. That's so cool.
You
I
run them over, Megan.
I remember seeing set photos, like someone who was in the neighborhood got photos of they were filming the flashback scene with the clean mask.
Yeah.
And oh my god, the firefighter scene. Like obviously you can't say anything, but holy hell, that scene looks like it's just going to be brutal.
Oh, it's fucked up. I have it on my camera. I can't share, but it's fucked up.
In the trailer, as soon as they rev up the buzzsaw and he grabs it and smashes it in the fireman, I'm like, dude, like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Be pretty intense. Like I think compared to the first one, the first one was like mild.
Yeah.
You kind of broke up a little. Megan, you went Optimus on us.
Oh.
Nope, now you're back.
I would say that the first one compared to this.
So
the first one compared to this one, like intense. I think there were a lot more builds on it compared to the first one. I didn't work on the first one, but the second one, and I think there was a lot more shit effects wise.
Obviously it's called Halloween Kills, so like the body count will just be bullshit insane. I haven't openly talked about this, but a couple of months ago I got to work on Thor: Love and Thunder here in Sydney, the new one.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So I kind of kept that one under wraps. Like you, Megan, I can't say jack shit because Mickey Mouse will blow a dart in my neck and I'll fall over. But I got to work on this big piece for a character that's going to interact with Christian Bale's Gore the God Butcher.
Wow.
That's exciting as fuck.
Yeah, so I got to work on that for 2 weeks with Odd Studio. They won the Oscar for Fury Road at Mad Max here in Sydney. They're like our Ironhead Studios and Studio ADI. That's our equivalent here in Australia for makeup effects and props. So I was there for 2 weeks. The shit that I saw that's going to be going into that movie is ridiculous. Taika Waititi's a fucking madman in the best way possible. Like the film is just going to be, it's just so stupid, but so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Cool.
Have you done, I like looked at your profile, but like, is there a Marvel character that you have coming up that you want to be or do? I don't know what you say for it.
Oh, like to cosplay as?
Yeah.
Not Marvel related, nothing on the cards at the moment. I do like, I'm always going to be a DC boy till I die. Like
Batman, I see. Okay.
So yeah, I've got a tactical Batman coming up. That's kind of just a mishmash of all different types of, like Nightmare Batman, but also my own spin on it.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm also doing the Phantom, doing a modern take on the Phantom coming up, which would be a bit of fun.
Okay.
Phantom of the Opera?
No, like Billy Zane Phantom.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a horror guy, right? So
embarrassing.
Shut up. Go back in your robot.
My robot hole.
Megan, roll out.
That's awesome. That sounds so fun. Like so basically, I mean, this is you, right? Like, I mean, you live to make money and create these awesome costumes. Is it insulting to say a costume, or is that acceptable? It's
Dude, like in my videos, I go between cosplay and costume. Because it's cosplay is costume role play. Yeah, it's tomato. It's whatever you're jonesing for. But like I never started this to make money. I used to work at Sydney Airport for Qantas. And I started the channel whilst I was there, and the job I was doing, I was working for Qantas Link, so it's like United Express, the tiny little planes that go regional.
Okay.
And I was running the paperwork out to the pilots for them to sign, and eventually they brought in iPads, so it was all electronic. My job became obsolete, and it was the best thing ever. You know, I took the redundancy and started all this full time.
Awesome.
So didn't think it would get to that stage, but yeah, look, I've had the pleasure of working in LA, the Middle East. I've been to, you know, Shreveport, Louisiana to do a convention of all places.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, down by the bayou. And that was great. That was like some of the best times of my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So initially I was looking to get my working visa for the United States. But at the moment, that's just obviously a no go.
Yeah.
We're
not safe. Don't come here. Save yourself.
You will put it this way: with our lockdown, I'm not allowed to leave within a 10-kilometer radius of my home. So
wow.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So I got my first jab, and 2 weeks later I get the second one. So then I'm done.
Nice. Yeah, so, they both kicked me. They both fucked me up. So, but that's
I've heard the second one's brutal with the one I'm getting. I'm getting the Pfizer, and apparently the second Pfizer knocks flat for 2 days.
So I got Moderna, and I got fucked up for both days, and I had COVID back in November. So I was
like, oh shit, no way.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, like I got fucked up.
Oh my God, you poor thing.
And I'm asthmatic, guys. I'm asthmatic. It was rough.
I guess so. When I'm editing this, I'm gonna have to put the violins in here.
Yeah.
Well, this violin.
Fuck you, Jason. You and your safe ass Canada.
Jason knows what it's all about.
Yeah, that's right. Well.
Okay, I have a good question. I have a question.
Oh, she's got a good one. Okay.
So first of all, I would like to know your age before I ask the question.
You're not supposed to ask people their age.
How old do you think I am?
I'm really bad at ages, so I'm so afraid I'm gonna offend you.
I'm 32.
I'm 27. I'm gonna put 30. You at like.
I'm 32.
I was gonna say 29.
I was at 30.
Yeah, because you've done stuff, right? So I listened to the experience that you've had. And I'm like, okay, so you can't be like 24, even though you kind of look it. But like, yeah, so you had to have.
What is your skin regimen? We would love to know.
Megan.
Yeah, Jason, come on.
Was that the second part of your question?
No, that was my second part. So my follow-up question to that, I just have to make sure he's legal, you know, like I'm just got to be safe.
Got it. Thank you.
So have any of your partners like ever asked you to wear a cosplay in bed?
Not a cosplay. I had a partner ask me to wear a Freddy glove once.
Okay, I know what scene they're talking about. The bathtub scene. That's all you think about when you're younger.
Wait, hang on. Unrobotize and say it again. Okay, go again. That last part you just said.
Oh, I said it's the bathtub scene. Like everybody thinks about that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's terrifying, but you're intrigued. You're like, do I want it or not?
That's it. It's just like, look, I don't kink shame, but you do you.
Did you use the glove, or was it just like you had your hand up so you weren't cutting anything?
I was just like wearing it and running it over.
So great. We're never gonna get him back on the show, Megan. Thanks.
I feel like it was a good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question because look, I've heard some stories, from friends, personal stories, and that's as far as I'll go for their sake, to protect their identities.
I know y'all are freaky. I fucking
know it. Look, we're freaky, but we're not very freaky.
Yeah, there's a line. There's a line.
There's a line.
Yeah. For most people, there's a line, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jason.
All right. So what's next? Like, where does this go? Like, is this something that you see doing years and years from now, or is it like you using it to springboard yourself into something, or you're just a day by day kind of guy?
The plan is there is no plan. So
that's so Australian.
It is. It really is. We're fucking hopeless sometimes. But it's some people find it endearing.
It is.
But yeah, like
it's a great way
I
to be.
always saw YouTube as a springboard, as a stepping stone, and it's definitely worked in my favor because of the channel. You know, I got to work on Thor: Love and Thunder because, you know, Odd saw my work. You know, I had worked with Odd previously, but they had seen my work, and I got to work at Studio ADI in LA for 3 days because they saw my channel and you know, my portfolio. So YouTube's always going to be there. I'm always going to upload videos here and there, but obviously, bigger picture, I do want to get more behind the camera and in front of the camera. Like, I love acting. Like, I love doing skits and stuff like that. I love making people laugh. And you know, from what I understand, they're going to be bringing a lot of productions here to Sydney, which is great. You know, Disney's set up here for 5 years at the moment. Industrial Light and Magic, which is George Lucas's baby, has an office here now, setting up at Fox Studios. So now's the time to kind of strike while the iron's hot. I do know we're going to be filming the new Mad Max with Hemsworth here soon, so I'd love to jump on that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so Hemsy's gone away to film the Hulk Hogan biopic now that he's wrapped Thor. After that, he's coming back here to film Mad Max. So I think it's the Furiosa prequel. And Furiosa, Mad Max Furiosa, and he's going to be in that. But honestly, guys, like I just think take things a day at a time. I wake up not knowing how the day's going to go, but I like, here's to winging it. That's how I do it.
Nice.
God, I want to live like that.
I know, that's pretty awesome.
It's a blessing and a curse, trust me.
Listen,
God damn it.
Listen, I mean, there's absolutely, I mean, your talents aside, just talking to you, there's nothing not to like about you. I mean, you got the looks, you got the personality, you got the stories, the talent. I guess the sky's the limit for you.
Jason.
Hey, listen.
Really?
At least buy me.
I think you're more in it than I am. Calm down. You have a wife at home.
Listen,
Chill.
I'm secure in my masculinity that I could just say that this guy is top shelf. And
before we go, I have one last question because I asked you this question. I feel like it's a valid question to ask. Chris.
Yes.
How do you feel about men drinking fruity drinks? Do you feel like it's totally fine? Because I feel like it is. My boyfriend is all up in the fruity drinks. Thank you. See? Okay.
Totally fine.
I'm glad
totally
to see
fine.
that the world's coming into a lighter.
But even though it's not fruity, I love myself a good glass of Chardonnay. Like, and pre-mixes, yeah, fine, absolutely. Okay. I can't do too many of them. Otherwise, I'll be out for 2 days straight with an IV hooked up to me. The older I get, the worse hangovers are.
I'm not even kidding you. My boyfriend is a paramedic. He hooked an IV into me this weekend. So it was like a whole new level of penetration. Like I had, like, you know, you have your basic penetration, but that was like the fourth kind.
So like instead of like there's like certain types of kinks, now you're doing IV play.
Yeah, yes. I never heard of that.
Yeah, you know, we got the other stuff. Let's fucking kick it up a notch, babe.
I bet you there's a tube on that somewhere in the internet, but I never heard of it.
Yeah, there's a kink for everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, Chris, this was a lot of fun. I learned actually quite a bit from talking with you today.
Yeah.
And that's always the way to go. And your page is I mean, sounds like it's just the tip of the iceberg with all that you've got going on. But thank you so much for being on this show. Like we really appreciate it.
No, thank you for asking me, guys. Always love a good chat. Always love talking shop, talking shit, talking kinks, you know.
yeah. Who knew, right? But yeah, for sure, man. We'd love to have you back and catch up with you down the road because hopefully you'll break out of this lockdown soon enough and get back to regular life.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do this again, guys. Hopefully by then H5 bust is done. I can show you guys that. But yeah, absolutely.
That'd be awesome. And maybe Megan will fix your sound and buy a computer and we'll be off to the races. So it sounds good.
The road of life is
okay. I'll give you the last word, Megan, because I don't want to end this way.
Oh, you're just trying to be nice because you've been bullying me the whole time. But no, this was super fucking awesome. I had no idea there was so much to cosplay, and to see you sort of trickle into the effects world was really awesome.
Yes, thank you. And congratulations on kills. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant.
Thanks a lot, Chris. So stay safe and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Chat soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Well, that was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy.
That's what you say about people you hate, Jason.
Not at all. Don't say that. No, are you kidding?
The way you said it.
No. You're right. Okay, I could see how that could be misconstrued. But the bottom line, that like, what's not to like about that guy?
Yeah, that was so much information that I had no idea on. Like that was very impressed.
Yeah. No, that was one cool dude. All right, so now we are going to bring on Sassy Sledgehammer, and we are going to talk about everything that's going on in the world of film and horror. And she's dancing. Woo!
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm
Megan,
doing pretty darn good.
good, because we're not. Megan's got shit sound, and she's trying to blame me.
Oh, fuck you, Jason. That's rude.
How you just changed on my monitor.
That's
I
gonna
had
be
to switch
one of
over
the
to the 3. I wanted to see both of you.
You went down.
It's gonna be one of the shirts eventually. Fuck you, Jason.
Yeah, that's all it has to be. Fuck you, Jason.
Trademark. Wow, that's nice. Thanks for joining me, ladies.
Yeah,
Totally.
I think every time I'm on with somebody else, we gang up on you, and I think it might be my superpower. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know what? And your sound improved since she's been on, so it's girl power.
Heck yeah.
What's going on, Sassy Sledgehammer?
All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to give a shout out to my friend, the Super Goal, for this awesome Creep and Create shirt, because every horror creator needs a little bit of creeping and a little bit of creating. But I'm going to start with the results of the polls from last week.
Yes.
So first up was slashers making a comeback. Twitter had 99 votes, which is surprisingly low. And they said 80% said yes, 20% said no. On Instagram, there were 247 votes. 67% said yes, and 33% said no. Not really a whole lot of explanation behind a lot of these, but obviously a lot of horror fans agreed that they're making a comeback. I'm curious to see why people think that they might not be.
Yeah,
maybe they need a little bit more of like reference. Maybe someone needs to sit down and explain to them, or maybe they just need to listen to last week's episode.
Or maybe they're just like, no, they don't want it. Like maybe
They
it's
don't
like
want
maybe
it.
it's one of those things where like,
Too bad.
yeah, it's coming.
Pretentious.
I don't know.
Oh man. And then for the best Joker, Joker, we had open-ended on Instagram, and most people said Heath. And then on Twitter, we had 113 votes. Heath Ledger came in at top at 62%, Jack Nicholson at 23%, Joaquin at 5%,
Wow.
and other at 10%. And the results for anybody who responded to those was Mark Hamill and Cesar Romero, and that was pretty much tied.
I'm a little shocked by Joaquin Phoenix not getting the love.
I know, that is pretty surprising.
There's usually recency bias, right? Recent.
Mhm.
Yeah. But that's interesting. Good job. Well,
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. I feel like it's because I was in California with a bunch of pretentious assholes. So like super like intricate acting was way more in my front running and like what I was used to, and honestly what I prefer. So maybe that's why. Because I felt like so many people liked Joaquin, but I guess not.
yeah.
A lot of people did, and so I was surprised that he wasn't higher on the list, because I know a lot of people love Heath, and a lot of potentially I don't want to say older generations because I hate saying that, but people who grew up with the Tim Burton Batmans. I mean, I grew up with it, but I didn't see it in theaters. I was super young. So
yeah.
there might be some nostalgia there, but yeah, Heath really came in strong, which I was surprised with, I guess. Yeah.
I genuinely thought that Joaquin Phoenix would have. I thought it was like I was interested to see who was going to win out of those two, and clearly it wasn't really much of a battle. So
Yeah,
congrats.
I fucked up.
Well, it's your opinion. You can't.
My opinion's fucked up, Jason.
Well, okay,
no,
remember
it's so
that
good.
later.
He did such a good job. He did such a good
Like,
job.
I'm just so surprised by that. And I love Heath's performance too. I just prefer Joaquin.
Yeah. But in any case, the horror news for the week, the one that I put up top because I was the most excited about it, is that Catherine Zeta-Jones was cast as Morticia in the new Wednesday series alongside Luis Guzman. And I was like, my 2002 self was screaming because the first internet fight I ever got into was on a message board in 2002 after Chicago came on, and my username was CZJ1fan. And so I'm so excited to see her as one of my favorite characters of all time, Morticia. I have a bunch of her posters from like way back in the day lining my wall because I just bought like a bunch of Catherine Zeta-Jones posters because I loved her so much. And I was named after her husband's first wife. So I feel really excited about that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Deandra. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm so excited about that. It was like, who's going to play Morticia? And I did not expect that news at all.
Well, she hasn't done much in a while.
She hasn't.
Right? So like, yeah.
She hasn't.
Tim Burton. So I guess with you being so passionate about it, if we were to say that maybe we weren't so big on that casting, you'd get really mad at us?
No, I mean, I would love to hear more. I would love to hear what a lot of people think. Everybody that I've seen when I posted about it was like, oh, this is so great. I haven't seen a lot of negativity around it. The one that I was a little more hesitant around was Luis. I was like,
I
don't think I know who that is.
You just got you Google it. When you see his face, you'll know. Okay. But I will say this. I was just busting them with Zeta-Jones. I love her. And when I saw she was cast, I was like, that is awesome. But I am like you. I like Guzman, but I really do. I think he's a great actor. I just don't know. I don't know.
Do you think this is going to be a little bit I don't want to say serious. I'm curious to see how the tone is going to change because I got to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't check how old Angelica Houston was in the live actions and, everybody who's played the characters throughout time. But like, they seem a little bit older.
Did they cast Wednesday?
Yeah. And I don't know what age she is. Yeah, they did. She was, I think, the first one to come out. Okay. They cast Wednesday.
And how old is she? Because I would think that with them being the parents, she'd be like, maybe 18 or something.
Check. There was something I thought that she was like going to be a little older.
Yeah. Okay. Because then that would make sense. But I know with with Tim Burton, I mean, he's got a way of making everything kind of seem adult yet.
Oh, and he's the director.
Yeah. So. Okay. So I mean, even with Sleepy Hollow, I mean, it was a child's fairy tale, and then
he's 18.
So they're gonna.
She's not the kid.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody's older. Anyway, I'm saying I love that cast 50%. I again, Zeta, yes. Guzman.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. It's just.
He's a great actor. He is. But I'm
so mad I didn't Google, guys. I'm really embarrassed right now because I Googled her and I was like, oh, that's right. And then I just completely fucking.
It's okay. Yeah. But you will know him when you see him for sure.
What has he been in? Just give me one.
Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights. Did you ever see Boogie Nights?
That sounds old.
Oh my God.
I actually just added that to my Netflix queue.
It's Mark Wahlberg.
He's in Waiting. Yeah, there's Boogie Nights, Anger Management, Traffic. God, what did I see him? He's in like something in particular that like really stands out to me.
They had an awesome tribute for him in Community, the TV series, which is one of my favorite shows.
Love Community. Yes. I'm actually watching it for the first time right now.
Oh, really? Oh my God. What season are you on? Completely off
5.
the rails. 5. Yeah. Okay. So you're watching the decline.
Yeah.
A little bit. First 3 seasons, brilliant, and then it kind of hit a wall.
Downhill.
Yeah. But in any case, super excited about that. Next up, I had to put this on there because I'm really jazzed about this. Matthew Lillard created a TikTok.
Well, thank God.
Love Matthew Lillard. So that's very exciting. I don't know what he's gonna post, but maybe he'll do some Shaggy callbacks. Maybe he'll be Stu. I don't know. Maybe he'll give us some behind the scenes of Scream. I don't really care. He could read the phone book.
So super fun fact. So Matthew met my friend Nora, who won Face Off back in the day at a convention, and they are good friends. And I work with Nora, so I will be like, hey, you want to help us out and get somebody on the show?
Listen,
I like it.
I will shit my pants.
I am obsessed with Matthew Lillard. My boyfriend had his birthday party over the weekend, and I was showing everybody at the table the pictures I have saved on my phone of Matthew Lillard. Like,
yeah. No, he's amazing. He's everything. Like Up a Creek Without a Paddle. Oh my god, everything he's been in. I'm like, oh my god, I fucking love you.
He's on top of my bucket list, and like I've seen him at conventions from a distance, but like,
yeah,
some people I did not. I underestimated how much they cost, and so I couldn't go up to Matthew. But like, I want to like.
What?
Oh, I just want to be all
he's
up on there.
On
like
top of your bucket list to do what?
To meet. Well, yeah, to meet.
Okay.
If it happens, it happens.
To meet.
Got it. All
right, got
it.
What
kind of meat? MEAT or MEET?
Just curious.
AET.
Okay.
Anywho, Matthew Lillard, moving on.
Fan yourselves off and let's move on.
Coming to Blu-ray for the first time in North America, 1986's Killer Party has just been announced by Scream Factory.
Wow.
Is getting a release on October 26th. So that's exciting.
God bless Scream Factory.
Yeah, Wes Craven, speaking of Scream Factory, once again, Wes Craven's Deadly Friend is finally getting the collector's edition Blu-ray treatment. Scream Factory announced that Deadly Friend is coming to Blu-ray for the first time on October 12th.
I used to love Christy Swanson. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. I love her as Buffy.
Yeah.
I like her Buffy.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
She turned the series down. That was an oopsie.
Yeah. She's
Is it though? What?
I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar was great. They're two different kind of Buffys. I mean, they really are.
They went a different direction, clearly, when she said no, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Around Halloween, Department 56 is getting spooky with a new wave of holiday-themed collectibles that include some of the horror genre's most lovable properties and icons, including, there's like these little like houses and displays and stuff that you could put around. It includes Elvira, the Munsters, the Addams Family, and Ghostbusters. They are joining Department 56 collection with new houses and figurines.
Awesome.
So
oh, that's
probably
so
gonna get
fucking cute.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna get the Elvira ones.
Deandra, what's your like yearly budget for buying horror stuff?
I honestly don't know. Nobody around me has had, and this was like the last thing on my list, is that nobody around me seems to have any. I'm like looking at everybody and they're like, well, I'm at Michael's, I'm at Home Goods, and they have all these wonderful Halloween things. And I have been in there so many times, and they have like a fake tree, and it's like that's all they've put out thus far. But I did go into Marshall's today to return some clothes, and I checked in the back and they had some Halloween stuff. So sure enough, I got a candle, I got a skeleton that I'm so excited about. I can't decide which name. I think I'm gonna name him Hal, HALO''Ween. He's
Okay.
Irish.
Oh, I like that.
But I'm
nice.
not 100% sure.
Well,
so I thought about having him sit here, but I was like, oh, I don't know if he will like stay up and it'll be awkward. But they had some stuff. I know.
Celebrity couple over here.
Prop them up.
Yeah, but I really don't know, because I have spent so much money. Like last year, I bought a new fog machine, more lights, more cobwebs.
A new more. I like how it's it's not like you bought these things. You're just adding. Yeah.
And my aunt got me a bride and groom life-size couple to put out somewhere. So I have to figure out where to put those, because I have a giant Dracula that I put in my living room, and my grandma she got me this like 12-foot blow-up ghoul that's outside. The kids in the neighborhood love it, which is exactly what I wanted. But I'm thinking we're probably going to have to set up some kind of like photo station at some point somewhere, because I really want to be like the house that gets into the newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah. Being Halloween cool. So
and yet all that stuff, and you got a Hulk Hogan in the background.
You know what? This is not mine. I'm a Macho Man Randy Savage kind of girl.
Oh, really?
They're rebels, but they also, I mean, I love Hulk, but I love my Macho Man.
Wow, yeah.
Love my Macho Man.
He's one of the
but
best.
they're friends, you know, it's all part of the same team, a little bit of rivals, but then also friends. So.
Yeah, they kind of had some issues, but it was a great era. Anyways, let's move on.
All right. This one I thought was very interesting, that there's more than one Candyman technically in the Candyman universe now with Nia DaCosta's upcoming Candyman. The moniker isn't just a single character, but as the trailers have been describing, it is the whole damn hive. In other words, there's more than one Candyman at play. That particular Candyman for this new movie, his name is Sherman Fields, which we've learned this week, and he's a man who used to hand out candy to the neighborhood kids. And we don't know if Tony Todd's Candyman is coming back. It hasn't been confirmed, but a lot of people still think he is. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I'm curious. Yeah, I thought that was really neat.
The commercials were me, for me, my opinion, but.
And then the Muppets are headed to the Haunted Mansion in the upcoming Disney Plus special, Muppets Haunted Mansion. A spooky treat that's headed our way on the road to Halloween. I'm very excited about that. That'll be cute.
Goddamn cute. Anything with the Muppets are sold on, yeah.
That is like perfect. Like that's like what took so long to come up with that idea? Muppets and
I know.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's about time.
That song Muppet or Man? Am I a man or am I a Muppet? And it was in the Muppets movie. I blast that shit for about like 3 months straight. I listened to it every time I got in the car. And I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. I'm 100% honest.
That's awesome.
It's an award-winning song, Jason. Don't look at me like that.
Hey, listen, I blast the Lego 2 soundtrack all the time. Like, love that movie.
If it's good, it's good.
Heck yeah. It doesn't matter who it's meant for. It's meant for all of us.
Next.
All right, the last bit of news I have here is Halloween Kills is currently set for theatrical release on October 15th, and the official novelization of the film will be released just 1 week later. Halloween Kills, the official movie novelization, as it's called, will be out on October 19th.
Deandra,
making a novelization of it?
Yeah.
Did you know that one of Megan or I worked on Halloween Kills?
No.
And it's not me.
Yeah. That was like one of the last projects I was working on in California. So I did some like eyebrows. I did like I laid the hair on the Michaels 1970 whatever mask it is, just for them to base it off of.
Oh, cool.
I did some other eye appliances and shit like that. So
nice.
We'll see if it's there. But it's funny because like I did something for a fireman body, and my boyfriend is a firefighter. So like in the trailer, the firefighters are getting fucking demolished, and he just looks at me, he's like, "What the fuck, babe?" And I was like, "I have no say on this."
That's awesome.
I'm so excited. Which, speaking of, I mean, I don't know how much you could say. I know Phil from Fangoria made a comment about this. He was like, "Look," because everybody was talking about they're spoiling so much in the trailer. They're spoiling so much. He goes, "Look, what you see in the trailer is not even like a fraction of the movie. I mean, they put it together, but there's so much more to it." And so coming from somebody who worked on the movie, I'm assuming you can confirm that for anybody who might be doubting.
Yeah.
Have we seen all the eyebrows in the trailer, or is there going to be more eyebrows that we'll see in Act 3? And
there's actually going to be an attack of eyebrows, Jason.
Is there?
So just,
holy crap.
But like what you said is pretty accurate. That's all I can really say.
That's perfect.
Because I know the entire movie. I know exactly what happens. Because my ex-boyfriend read the script and then told me everything. So
oh my gosh. Well, that works out pretty well. So that's good to know. So hearing it from somebody who worked on the movie, y'all, if you are not confident enough, I mean, I was excited either way. But there you go. So those are kind of the key things that stood out to me this week. So had the wrap up, but there's just always tons and tons of stuff happening, from short movie news and new trailers and things like that. But
that's awesome.
Awesome.
Great job.
Thanks.
So that leads us to a poll, right? We need to throw something out there. Do you ladies have any ideas?
Well, I know we talked about the new casting for the Wednesday series and how people feel about that. So that might be something to discuss, but what other items have you guys been thinking about, or either this week or within the episode, that you're just curious to see what people think?
Based on what you were talking about, I mean, the only thing that kind of came to mind was just Luis Guzman is what do people think about that, right? Like, you know, I have a feeling Zeta Jones is a resounding yes. But I'm kind of curious about that. But I mean, I'm not sold on that. So if you guys got something better, let's have at it.
No, I kind of like that. I'm curious to see how people feel about it.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, I'm not going to lie, I did not know that was happening. And thank God I am on the show so I can actually keep up to date on stuff. Because the only time I'm ever on my phone is like answering emails or when Jason's annoying me. So just kidding, Jason.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
That's perfect. Yeah, because I'm curious. I haven't really heard anything about Luis as much. People just really haven't commented. I've just been he's
such a supporting cast guy.
Yeah,
you know,
really is.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. I again, he's got, if it's a comedy, he's funny. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but like Gomez is also so suave. Like he's always been so suave.
Yeah.
From way back in the day. I mean, even though he was, I love looking because Pluto through the Amazon Fire Stick is just like an entire streaming channel dedicated to the Addams Family. So I watch it a lot, and just looking at his face, he just sits there and he's like really goofy, but he's still pretty suave. I mean, he's always been suave. Gomez has that. He's goofy, but he has that charm to him. So I'm hopeful, but we'll see.
Lillard and Guzman, you girls are you've got a particular kind of taste there. There's not many.
What are you talking about? Gomez is like a top 10 for anyone. Have you seen the man? It's the mustache.
Oh yeah,
it's the eyes.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'll bow out. I know when I'm the loser of a conversation. I don't even belong in that conversation, so I'll gladly bow out. I'm just kind of curious. So we're gonna put it out for Guzman if he is the best Gomez.
Yeah, and if not, who would they have?
Yeah, that would
instead?
I'd be interesting. I would like to know who.
So we could do the 2 polls again. We could do Luis Guzman, yes or no, and then if not, who maybe instead.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. And would you know?
You know what makes me sad is when they did the animated Addams Family, they did Oscar Isaac as the animated version, but I felt like he would have been such
that
an
was my
live action.
That was my pick.
Yeah,
that was my pick.
I agree, like fully. He is just so fucking hot. That's all I can say.
It's all that matters, right?
Yeah, of course. No, but he's suave as hell. Like he has his moments, and he's an overall just an amazing actor. He can do everything.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. It's fun. When is so Addams Family and Monsters are both in the works. I wonder if they're going to come out at around the same time. It's kind of interesting, but
oh man,
and that's two very interesting directors taking over, taking those projects on. So we'll see what happens. I think that's it. I think we're good. What is that squeaking? Is that a cat?
That would be my cat.
Okay.
I was like, I hope they don't hear her. So I tried to put her in the other room, but they have rafters, and she is above me in the rafters, telling me to let her out.
No problem.
Okay,
so that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I hope everybody at the start is like, is that a ghost?
No,
like,
I think everybody was probably like, what's going on with Megan? Because she's been a robot. She's had weird sounds. She's had a dog in her shot. So everybody just assumes it was her. But
I'm a mess.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you get back to your cat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Totally.
Priorities. Thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing what the polls are, and we'll check back on our next episode.
Definitely, guys. Take care. We'll see what we what the people say.
All right. Keep dancing.
Bye.
Sassy Sledgehammer.
Bye.
So long. Wow, you made a fool out of yourself.
You made a fool out of yourself. Did I sound like a robot the whole time?
No, actually, you didn't sound that bad. It was funny when we went to her, you sounded perfect.
Am I weird again?
And then it got a little weird, and but anyway, that was nice. That was nice of her to drop by. I feel like a friend popped by.
Good drop. It's like Mr. Rogers, like a little side character on Mr. Rogers. You're like, oh, I love this part of the show,
Yeah. All right. So Megan, we're gonna be talking to a poet now. So we gotta change gears and try and
all right, I'm gonna get classy now.
Pretend we gotta try and pretend to be classy now. Hello, Emma. Oh, wait, we're connecting to your audio. So we'll talk, you listen. I think you're good now.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hi,
How are
Emma.
you? Hi, how are ya?
Megan, Emma,
Yeah.
Megan.
Nice to meet you virtually.
Thanks for doing the show.
Yeah, no worries. I'm happy to be able to help.
Yeah, cool. So, we were talking at the beginning of the show that we have a poet on the show, and we were kind of proud about it because we're so diverse. We're so, it just, you say you have a poet on your show and it's just like you sound legit,
Yeah.
So
I feel like I didn't fail half of high school right now. So jokes
okay.
on.
Love it.
So how are things right now with being a poet? Okay, let me reword that. How does one
Reloaded question.
we're late into our segment. How does one become a poet?
So kind of accidentally, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So I've always written fiction. Even when I was practicing law, I wrote fiction kind of on the side. It was always my sort of secret hobby / true love. And as I became unhappier in law and more unhappy, it just kind of got worse. I had joined Instagram, and I noticed a lot of people were sharing sort of micro prose, sort of short little snippets of text or flash fiction or poetry. And I was like, oh, wow, people do that. That can be done. It's an easy way to share. It's not a job. It's just a way of connecting with people. And so because I was going through a rough time, I found I was able to easily write a lot of short and sweet kind of snippets. They're not sort of long, what you would typically, like what we learned in high school as poetry. It's not
haiku.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't haiku. It was more sort of an emotional, almost therapeutic exercise for me. And I started posting my poetry. And then before I knew it, I had a lot of little pieces. And my friends were like, you should do your own book. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you can do that. It all just kind of came. It wasn't really an intentional, thought out process. It just kind of happened. And then I left my job and started writing fiction, which is, again, poetry is more of like a fun thing for me.
So you said you were lost. You were a lawyer?
Yeah, I was a corporate lawyer.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
I told you she's smart.
She's like,
I know. I'm like, I'm just gonna learn today.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna learn very much. It's yeah. No, you know what? It's no disrespect. Law is a great profession if you're really into it, but you have to kind of love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to be really into it because it requires a lot of you mentally, emotionally, physically. You have to be on call all the time. And for me, it just wasn't, you kind of know, is something for you, is it not?
But that's still ballsy to leave. Like, you that's a lot of schooling. I don't want to like sound like you. I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but it's a lot of schooling. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. And to have the guts to leave it is almost more impressive than becoming a lawyer. Because I got to be honest, a lot of people will just be locked in. Right? Yeah. Well,
they do kind of get you with the, we called them golden handcuffs. Every year you get a raise and you're like, oh, I can stick it out for one more year. Because our culture tells you, well, this is the thing, our culture tells you, these are the markers of success.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things you need to go for. And I grew up in a family that was pretty sort of unstable financially. And I was like, really, okay, no, secure career.
Yeah.
Let's seek security. To me, my rational brain was like, this is a good idea. But years go by, and I think everyone takes stock of their life at some point. And I just had to try it, and it's been going well. And I always thought, you know, I'll try it for a certain number of years, and if nothing really comes of it, or it's not what I thought, I can always go back, right, to law.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, sorry, I totally derailed your,
no, that's
your
okay.
story, but I was curious to know where you came from.
Yeah, so so my main sort of what I would like to do full time is really write novels. So I've got one novel that I just finished, and I'm just working on, I've been getting some feedback from my readers, my beta readers, as they call them. And so, yeah, hoping to send that out to agents. So, and my poetry, but I do have a poetry book coming out, hopefully October, although I'm a bit behind on getting my final edits to my editor. So
that's awesome. That's
but
exciting.
yeah, that's the plan.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Okay, so what kind of poetry is it? Like a themed? Is it like, you know, eclectic collections of poetry, or like what kind of things inspire you?
It's very much sort of inspirational, I would say, and motivational, or sort of, it's meant to make people think. It is, I hope it's therapeutic. That's kind of the point. Just awesome. Kind of things I learned when I was going through my own sort of challenges with life choices, relationships, feeling. I mean, and they're universal feelings. We've all gone through, I'm sure, periods of depression or anxiety or questioning choices made. You know, we've all had toxic relationships. We've all had, you know, like, let's be honest, these are human experiences, right? So I kind of just thought sharing what I went through might help other people, awesome. Which it seems to. I mean, probably not everybody, but there are certain people that seem to connect. And so, yeah, I would say it's sort of thoughtful, therapeutic, motivational poetry, I would say.
Nice. Do you have a handle for it? Like, do you have an Instagram page where like each day you post a new one?
Yeah, so I post a couple times a week. I find Instagram, I don't know how you guys feel about this, can be a real rabbit hole. The more you post, the more you're sucked in. So I limit my time, because otherwise I don't get any work done. So I only post twice a week. But yeah, it's The Writing Saint. So yeah, maybe you can share my handle at some point. I'm not sure how you're gonna.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. I'll get it up there.
Yeah,
it's inspired by do you guys, it's not a horror movie, but do you guys remember The Saint with Val Kilmer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally underrated movie, by the way. I love that movie, in my opinion. Yeah. But he lives this double life, right? He's sort of a secret, I don't want to say agent, because he's not affiliated with law enforcement, but he's sort of he's a gun for hire. He'll steal whatever you need. He'll pretend to be whomever you need. He'll put on whatever identity you need to get your illegal activity done. And so I thought that's kind of cool. Like, at the time I was kind of feeling like I was living a double life, corporate lawyer by day.
Yeah.
Crime poet by night. So
that's really sweet.
Like, yeah.
Did you see the trailer for his documentary about him? No. Oh my gosh. You got to Google it. Because he's got throat cancer. And and like, you know, he has but he filmed so much when he was on sets. Like he was always with a camera, and there's so much footage of all his films.
Oh, that's
if you watch the trailer, and you'll really get hooked. Like, it is like a compelling trailer, and I don't use compelling very often, but that's awesome. Okay, so
I feel like I've been talking a lot. Let's talk horror. I'm like,
no. You're the guest. You're supposed to be talking a lot. So,
what about Megan? Did I miss her segment, or
no? She's the co-host of this show. Yeah,
I've heard a little bit.
Yeah.
I do have a question though. What is your novel about? Like, what genre?
So it's a psychological thriller, but I do pay homage to the horror industry. So my antagonist is a famous horror novelist who writes under a pseudonym, and nobody knows who she really is. So my protagonist discovers this writer, and I don't want to give anything away before I sort of come up with my marketing spiel. But basically, she needs to hunt this woman down and figure out who she really is, because the woman has stolen her life story.
Oh.
And wants to turn it into profit. So it's kind of a cat and mouse character, my protagonist going a bit off the deep end, trying to figure out who this woman really is, and kind of insert herself in her life. So, and it goes in a very unexpected direction. So that's that's the nutshell version.
That's awesome.
I'm sold.
Usually it's people like saying, "Oh, you got to watch this movie that I saw," and blah blah blah, goes in an unexpected direction. But here we're actually talking to the writer of something that goes in the weird direction, which is awesome. Yeah. So I introduced you as a poet, but you are more than that. You definitely, you're not limited to that. But despite your sweet persona and your inspirational poetry, you love horror.
I do. So I just want to do a shameless self-promote. So this is my first published short stories in Dark Moon Digest.
Nice.
Graveyard on the front. I don't know if you can
just
see
a
that.
little lower.
Yeah.
So, no. Oh no, it's just to get the top part. We got it.
So this is a horror magazine, which I love, or journal, which I love. I love the fiction in here. So my story is called Nighthawks, and it's about a man who's recovering from a very bad breakup, driving cross country just to get away from his ex. And he stops at a diner in the middle of the night to eat. And he might be what's on the menu. Let's just put it that way. So little Texas
cannibalism scares the living shit out of me. Oh my God.
What were you saying, Megan?
Sorry, I said cannibalism scares the living shit out of me. Like, that is one thing in horror that I'm like, oh my God. It really freaks me out.
And there's nothing gratuitous. So it's ambiguous. Like, I like a bit of ambiguity in my stories personally.
Yeah.
It's just me. Not everyone does. So it's not gory or anything, but yeah. Have you read, you might like, Megan, Tender is the Flesh? Or maybe you won't like it.
I've heard about it and I just can't do it. Like, anything I read, I have dreams or nightmares about. I'm a very sensitive nugget.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I've heard about it, but I'm like,
So look at how sinister Emma is. She looks so sweet, and you just said, I'm scared to death of cannibalism, and she refers to you as tender is
the flesh. Oh, it's a light read. Don't worry about it.
Romantic comedy. It's great. Yeah.
So that's so okay. So what's your goal after, you got your poetry book and then you got this novel? Are you going to continue on this path?
Yeah, for sure. So I already have another. I would say it's probably psychological thriller. I'm going to try to veer more into a bit more of the horror with the second book. But I already have an idea in progress, and I have some short stories I'm working on too. The great thing about the horror community as a writer is it's very small and close knit, and everyone's very supportive. There's this amazing like indie horror writing community online. So it's really cool what's happened with the industry. And I think social media, even though I have issues with social media, I do think Instagram and Twitter, I'm not active on Twitter, but I heard this to be the case. Like, they're just really great for community building, right?
Yeah.
Especially in sort of a subgenre or a subculture, I should say, that's not so mainstream. I mean, everyone knows Halloween, obviously, and Friday the 13th and whatnot, but some of the sort of lesser known films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's awesome. I definitely want to bring you back, and we can discuss more in depth your twisted mind. But at this point, I just want to say thanks for being on the show, and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we're happy
to have you.
We'll put up all your poetry where we can see your stuff, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Well, looking forward to chatting to you guys again soon.
Oh, and one last thing, your lighting is awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what you got going on there, but
the desk lamp.
That's one hell of
I'm going to Walmart tomorrow now.
Yes, please.
Wait, can I just ask Megan one question? You don't have to.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Are you a tattoo artist? I'm seeing tattoo pictures behind.
Oh my God, I wish. So me and my boyfriend are actually both very heavily tattooed. So this was the artist. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
The woman that's on this is on my arm. So he
Amazing.
gave me the flash piece after tattooing me. And then I just I get all my wall art from my tattoo artist. So that's why it looks like that.
I just assumed because you have these beautiful tattoos and then the pictures. So I just,
no, we have like a whole wall going on of tattoo art. So
cool.
That's our go-to. And a little bit of horror. I have like my little Halloween cats with mask on over there.
Nice. That is creepy.
Yeah.
I'm like not a huge cat person, so
I'm massive. I have cats like all over my left arm, so I'm that weirdo.
No, I've had like some weird experiences with cats, so I just have this like. Anyway, that's for another like.
Yeah, that's another episode. We're gonna bring you back just for an entire cat discussion.
Actually, it just reminded me of a funny story. So there was a girl I used to work with, and she hated birds, and she said like birds hate her, and I'm like, what? She's like, they attack her, and I mean, it sounds stupid, like not that they consistently attack her, but like it's happened. So one day we were going for a walk on lunch, a bird hit her head.
That's amazing.
She turns to me, she's like, see? Anyways, I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh my God. No, cats love me. Like all my friends call me the cat whisperer. Like I'll just find stray cats. Like one time I was walking my dog in the rain and a stray cat just came up to me, followed me home. And then she started like giving birth and she was like, can you take my children too? And I was like, yeah, come on in. So like cats literally find me. Like I'm not even kidding. I've fostered like well over 100 cats in my life.
Okay, I may have to write a story about you. Like very inspired. Nothing too crazy. No cannibalism in the story, I promise.
No cannibalism unless it's like if the cats are eating me, that's fine.
To stay alive.
Interesting.
Just not a person.
That's disturbing, but that does give me an idea. So thanks for this convo, guys.
Man, we
should.
I'm glad you benefited from this. I was like, man, we should have ended this conversation when I had
like seriously disturbed.
Yeah, like, Jason wants to like straight up walk out right now.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's weird.
No, great.
But it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, Emma, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Emma.
Bye, Megan.
You made a friend.
What a sweetheart. I made a friend. See, people like me. I know you don't, but others do.
No, I love you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You love me?
I love you. I don't like you. I love you.
I can hear you. You're just not moving.
No, well, it's okay. My picture's fine.
Jason.
Yeah, see, I can get sweet. Bringing it home with sentimentality right now. So that's it. I think we're done. We're done. Unless you want to tell me how much you love me. Like a robot. Well, or your screen could disappear. Well, when I said done, you took it literally. You just disappeared. You're on mute. You're on mute.
I'm back. Hi.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you to Chris Stanley for joining us, Emma Williamson. I'm going to put links up to their stuff in the description box. Thank you, Sassy Sledgehammer, for that awesome report. And we're going to have that poll. Make sure you can even comment in the section, in the YouTube section. But you can follow her on social media and comment. We really picked on Luis Guzman here. I kind of hope for his sake that he's accepted into this poll because we have nothing personal against him. Megan, you and I butted heads a little bit. We had some technology issues, but in the end, I think love prevailed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If I don't bully you, I don't love you. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I hear you. So, do you have any plans for the week? Special plans?
For the week? Well, don't tell anyone, but I think I'm going to surprise Kevin, who's my boyfriend, with a trip to Orlando. Get a nice little hotel for the night, go out, get some drinks. I'm dropping off a hairpiece in Orlando for like a werewolf makeup. So I'm like, two birds, one stone.
Oh, okay. You made it sound like it was such a romantic thing, and then you're like, well, I have to drop this shit off anyway, so I might as well bring him with
but
me.
I'm making a fuck ton of money from it. So I'm like, I might as well apologize for just being so busy during the week to him.
Okay. And he's probably gonna drive and everything, right? So all right.
I'm driving.
Okay.
He just gets to sit the passenger and DJ. He's fine.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? You doing anything fun?
No.
Wow. Okay.
See you next week. No. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
I don't got nothing going on. I got to edit this video, get it out, and actually I am having you know what? I'm having a guy's barbecue on Saturday.
That's super fun, Jason. You didn't think to share that one? Jesus Christ.
I you know what? I'm just like Chris Stanley, you know, I go day by day. I'm even better. I go minute by minute.
Minute by minute.
Minute by minute. Take that, Chris. Just joking. We love you. But yeah.
Back on
now. So we'll see you next week or
Sounds
sometime
good.
soon.
Yeah.
Awesome, Megan. Take care.
All right. Bye.